I used to watch and just root for the underdog because it's worth it. That's what it was about. The 11-6 upsets, the 10-7s, 12s beating a 5. Like, that's what made me fall in love with it. And now it just doesn't seem like that's happening as much anymore. And I think if Kyler can play with a bit more timing, be a little bit more surgical in the middle of the field, this is as much talent as KOC's had in a quarterback. I think he's so talented. My kids are making fun of me because I'm like last place in the bracket.
Yeah, I get that a lot too.
I'm like, all right, keep it up. See who drives you to school tomorrow. Honestly, pretty tantalizing if you're Sean Payton to think, I've got this receiver at my disposal. This helps Cortland Sutton a lot. More speed on the field. I love this trade for Denver. I don't hate Carlos Boozer.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't hate his kids.
Yeah.
Those kids are good players. And we're back. Almost missed this place.
Hey, congrats to you guys, huh?
Why? What happened?
You big summiters.
Oh, us?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've talked a lot about that since we did like a podcast on it.
I know you have.
We don't want to talk too much
consumed
more about it. We want to stay humble.
Yeah.
You know?
Good for you guys, though. We
Thank
were all
you.
rooting for you for the most part.
I appreciate it. What else, guys? What else has been up?
I saw
Macon, is your kitchen done? I haven't seen you in months.
Oh,
It's a kitchen update.
okay. Well, I think if you ask the contractor, he'd say we're at the punch list phase. If you ask me, I'd
Yeah.
say we're more at like the 90% phase. You know what I'm saying?
Define
Oh, that
punch list
resonates
phase.
with me, brother. Believe me, I get
Yeah.
it. I've been at the punch list phase for this house I'm doing for about 2 years now. So,
Dog.
you know, I get it.
It's
tough.
you know, communication is key, I found, in really all aspects of life. Now we're
Man, this
getting
is
there.
a riveting conversation.
We need
Maybe we should talk about JSN.
We need like another cabinet, you know, some hardware, and then furniture, you know, furniture.
Well, if you need any help, just holler.
Okay.
I offered you some help last week.
I could take some furniture. I don't really need help.
Really?
Like actual.
You need furniture?
Yeah. You got some?
What do you need?
Like couches, chairs,
Yeah?
rugs, wall coverings.
Might have something for you.
Are you serious?
I'll get back to you after the show.
I know exactly what you're talking about, Chris. Yeah.
What do you think I'm talking about?
Well, I hope you're talking about that fucking weird Chinese furniture that you were sending around, you know?
I got some
That's what I hope
furniture
you're talking
for
about.
you.
Dog, we're going for more of like an American Swedish vibe, I think.
We'll see. I guess we should start by talking about NFL headlines, of which I missed many. You know, the last time we taped, I did a whole soup to nuts fucking Maxx Crosby trade, the anatomy of a Maxx Crosby trade, man. You know, the one thing I did include in that long Crosby monologue was a bit about how many fucking snaps he's played. And the way he plays football, the rugged nature with which he plays football, his inability to say when, which is honestly for me, it's an admirable trait. But if you're the Raiders and you're trying to get a guy you want to trade shut down for the season last year when he's got a knee, like it's less convenient. But I love the way Maxx Crosby thinks of himself. He's a football player. He wants to play every snap. But over the course of his career, he's played over 2,000 more snaps than, you know, the average amount of snaps that a defensive end in his class has played. And I'm including in that analysis some of the guys that have played a fuck ton of snaps, like because that was a very good class of defensive ends. And he played a couple thousand more snaps than the other guys in his class. He's over 6,000 snaps. And he's played hurt, you know, played on, you know, bad wheel, this, that, and the third. So yeah, it was buyer beware in there, but I think the whole thing's bullshit. You know, and the worst part was the trade fell through right after I had finished breaking the trade down. And then I was like, I want to hop back on, and I was advised to wait a week, and then we never got on. So here I am, like this is like super old news right here, but I'm going to tell you what I think. What I think is this is a well-beaten path on this take, but I do think the Ravens had buyer's remorse. I do think I think they got on Amazon at 1 a.m. and they were shopping high, dude. We've all done it, where you get on late at night and all of a sudden a $3,500 telescope shows up a couple days later and your wife's like, what the fuck are we doing? We don't buy $3,500. What time did you order this telescope? No, send it back. It was like a time that I ordered one of those 10-foot skeletons for Halloween, the things you put in your yard, and Meg legitimately made me send it back. There's no bullshit. I had to find somebody that could like put it on their truck with a pallet.
I would never do that.
Those
I would
things are
never
sick.
send anything back from Amazon, dude. There's the convenience of clicking 5 buttons and it shows up at your house.
Yeah.
So outweighed by the thought of going to a fucking like a Whole Foods or something and dropping off a thing at the Amazon deal there and
No
returning
chance. Yeah, I'm stuck
it.
with
Would
it.
never.
Yeah, whatever it is, but no, that's what they did. This is an organization that doesn't do this, right? We don't usually do this, but they did. They sent over 2 first-round picks for a guy that I do believe if you get and I said this the day the trade happened, if you get a healthy Maxx Crosby, it's a home run because he doesn't just rush the passer, he transforms the way you play the run. He basically leads the league in negatives. That's something that Baltimore has not done a great job of in the run game, creating negatives, getting you behind and down in distances. I was salivating over seeing Kyle Hamilton and Maxx Crosby play football together because those two guys are like knives. They're in the run game. They're just as good as they are in the pass game. I've seen, Kyle Hamilton feel like a linebacker. Crosby lives in the backfield, but it fell through. And here's the fucking crazy thing, guys. As I listened to Maxx Crosby talk about the way it all went down, what I found out was essentially it was a smoking gun. They flew the Condor commercial 5 hours to Baltimore. You telling me, and I know it varies from team to team whether you send the guy a bird or not, like after you, but if you're going to send 2 first-round picks, if the Baltimore Ravens send 2 first-round picks for a guy, as uncharacteristic as it might be, a guy who's coming off of a meniscus repair, and when you Google meniscus repair, one of the first things that they say not to do is sit for a very long time. They put they put the Condor in a bird cage, bro. And he was eating hot Delta peanuts. Him and his
3D
family.
chest, dude. They knew
5
that knee
hours.
was going to blow up, They're like, how can we get out of this? Let's get that knee swollen up. Let's send a commercial.
Well,
Not
I
even
mean-
exit row.
Okay, if you didn't know any better, you would think they were sabotaging. They were like, let's get this thing full of fluid. Let's sit him in a fucking on a commercial flight. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you send 2 first-round picks for a guy, like make it look like the movies. Like I want to see the purple carpet. I don't want to see the 6'6", 6'7" TFL sack machine that you just traded, you mortgaged your future for allegedly on a commercial flight, standing in line in an airport, dude. Like it just doesn't. I want to see a purple fucking carpet on the tarmac, and I want to see Steve Bisciotti's jet, dude. That's what it's supposed to look like. Ironically, after they told him the trade was falling through, they felt so bad about it, they sent a jet back, which is totally ass backwards. They sent him on a jet backwards, which I don't know what to make of that. But the point is, like, it's pretty clear to me what happened here. And I'm kind of joking about the flight, although it's totally fucked up. If I were like an owner, I would be sending a jet for a guy that I sent 2 first-round picks for, unless I wasn't sure that he was going to be a Raven. And I do think that at that point in the week, they had decided, hey, we saw that there wasn't the market we anticipated for Trey Hendrickson, who we do not have to give up 2 first-round picks for, and so we'll do it the easy way. And I do think if I compared the 2 players, 2 guys that I absolutely love, I would rather have Maxx Crosby for a year or 2 than I would Trey Hendrickson. But they might have seen something in the MRI that legitimately was worrisome for them, but they also knew what they were getting into, trading for a guy who's coming off of surgery, trading for a guy with that kind of mileage. What I heard through back channels was the MRI was fine. That's what I heard. Now, that's the Raiders side of it. The Ravens would say, hey, we've done this before. And Will Compton talked about this with Ryan Grant in 2018, right? The wide receiver. And they said, and they did it with Michael Brockers too, my friend as well. And, the funny thing about the Ryan Grant thing is I think he only played 15 more games. So the Ravens could actually say, hey, we know what the fuck we're doing. We see damaged goods. When they show us the Carfax, we know what we're looking at. But, like, I kind of think this was an easy out for them. I really do. And there's nothing you could say to prove it. They're not going to investigate this thing, although they probably should.
Well, it's Ravens team doc, so this sets a precedent. Anybody can fail a player's physical. It's like an inspection contingency for a buyer in real estate.
Dog, I was going to...
You can terminate a contract for any reason, including no reason, including cold feet, including something better popped up that I'd rather buy in the state of Virginia. Deposit comes back to you. So
How do you know this?
So I sell real estate.
Okay,
yeah.
just to remind people.
So do the Ravens get a bad rap here? Do they get punished by the rest of the league for agreeing to a deal and then welching on it?
I think so. Beau, I think so. I think nobody wants to sell $3,500 telescopes to the fucking Ravens anymore, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a gray area though, right? Like there's no punishment in the that's going to come down from the league, but I think for future free agents, it definitely like gives you pause. You know what I mean? Like if you're a big name guy and you're a free agent, and I think people kind of remember that, and I'm sure Maxx is telling all of his boys and whomever he talks to about how they did him kind of dirty. Obviously, he's excited to be back in Vegas and all that stuff, but it's just a bad fucking look, man. I just think it's bad ball. I think it's sloppy. I did not buy at all what they were saying. Didn't they like put something out, the Ravens, saying like, yeah, we were trying to pair Crosby and Hendrickson together? Like,
yeah, that was hilarious.
Trey said that too.
All right.
Yeah. They fed Trey that line.
Yeah,
they fed Trey that line for sure. They're like, yeah, you're not like the new girl. Like we wanted you the whole time with Crosby. It's like, okay, all right, sure.
We're polyamorous.
Overall, it's a bad look. Yeah, exactly. It's a bad look, man. I'm not a big fan.
It is a bad look, and it's going to affect, I think, at least in the short term. And people, I don't know how long teams' memories are, but like, when you deal with the Ravens, and they actually had this reputation because they've done it a couple times. But ironically, the Raiders were on the other end of something like this. Roger Saffold, when I was in St. Louis in 2014, there was a trade that they're trying to send him to the Raiders. And I guess the Raiders failed his physical, and Saffold played another 9 years. So the outcomes on this, it's easy to sit here if you're the Ravens, and if Maxx Crosby flames out in a year and a half or 2 years, which anything is possible. I mean, like the guy's got some mileage and he plays his fucking ass off every Sunday. He refuses to come off the field.
There just seems like there's too ripe an opportunity here for market manipulation. Like agreed to monster terms with a guy via trade, put whatever you want out there in the public, and then cancel the deal during the legal tampering, which is another funny term. Period.
Well, there's no restitution for the Raiders, who went out and basically maxed out their credit card.
Yeah.
No pun intended. They maxed out their credit card, and then their check comes back that it bounced like a day or two later. It just doesn't. They have to avoid this sort of thing, because honestly, if it weren't the Raiders, I think people would care a lot more about this. Like if this were like one of the most important teams, and most people think the Raiders are a couple years off at best. If this was a team that the NFL was dependent upon, like a meal ticket type team, and they went out and fucked themselves in free agency and spent way too much money, like the NFL would want to make that right. I think the NFL's lucky that this was the Raiders.
Yeah, and if Harbaugh was still in Baltimore, man, he'd be catching a pretty hefty fine. I feel like he's getting punished for shit every year when he was there. But it's a new regime. And I think the biggest thing that I'm frustrated about is we were robbed of an all-time edge rushing duo in Baltimore. You might think I'm talking about Trey Hendrickson and Crosby, but no, I'm talking about Kyle Hamilton on the edge and Maxx Crosby on the other edge, man. Think about that duo.
That'd be a lot of fun. It would have been fun seeing them play together.
Understand Maxx had a knee and there was an MRI involved and several docs. But what does an NFL physical look like? Is it like my physical?
They grab your balls. They tell you to turn your head and cough.
Which is not a thing anymore.
Awesome.
No. That was a thing forever. That's not a thing.
That thing sucks.
Are they making you still cough?
I feel like I coughed in the last year or two.
My primary care.
Maybe my primary.
Mine's like all good. I trust you.
That's the only bright spot of my day when you got the physical. Might as well get something out of it.
Has it stopped?
Dude, my PCP, not for 15 years.
15 years?
I think.
Damn, yeah. That's happened to me more recently than 15 years.
Nah, she's like, you good? Like, yeah.
Next thing you're gonna tell me they don't do prostate exams anymore. It's just me. No, I haven't had that yet.
Well, is it like a physical, like an annual physical?
Well, I never actually never actually was but like when I signed with a new team, you got to go through a physical. It's probably north of an annual physical for sure. They're taking imaging of. They're looking at imaging. They're looking at X-rays. If there's anything in question, they're going to do new imaging. And it wasn't just Baltimore's doctors. They had like Cowboys doctor, like a group of 5 doctors, which is also a goofy kind of thing too. Guys who I know they're supposed to just be doctors, but they work for teams. So it's listen, it's like your real estate thing, and I was going to bring that up when you came in. I was going to say, isn't it like if I were looking at a property and I said, Make, I really like this property, but I'm waiting on this other property. Can we just get like a 60-day deal here, and we inspect it and we'll see, and if the other thing pops up, we're out. Not that you would do something like that.
No, because with my fellow agent, that's a bad look.
It's a bad look.
And then 2 contracts being equal next time around, they're going to work with the other agent,
and
not with me.
And I think it's a worse look in the NFL. I think it happens more in real estate.
Yes.
For those of you who are, MLS inclined.
And we probably don't have a group of docs huddled around an MRI image pointing at the problem because of HIPAA.
Yeah, exactly.
That might do
a
damage
group of
to Maxx's
contractors,
career.
just a bunch of kitchen contractors. Hey, let me call in my guy.
I'd still trade for Maxx Crosby. I would trade for Maxx Crosby. It's the perfect time to trade for Maxx Crosby, whether you're Philly, whether you're Chicago. If you're the type of team that thinks your window is open, say you have a quarterback on a rookie deal. Let's say last year you lost to the Rams in the playoffs, and you were pretty good on third down all season. You didn't have a lot of pass rushers up front. Let's say you're the Bears. I'm talking about the Bears here. I think the Bears would be a really good, and there's still chatter about the Bears. I think the Bears would be a fantastic landing spot for Maxx Crosby. Another one is another small deal, but it's a real thing. Is you play in the NFC North. You're gonna play outside a lot. At home in Chicago, you're gonna play on grass. Okay, that's good for a guy with a knee. I don't know if that grass is great, but that's a real thing. Like, you practice on grass, play on grass. The other team that I could see making a play for Maxx would be the Cowboys. Imagine being Jerry Jones and saying, hey, you guys gave me a bunch of shit when I shipped Micah Parsons out of town, but he popped his ACL, and here I am with Maxx Crosby for a discount, Rashawn Gary, and we're on our way. He'd probably take a little victory lap after doing something like that. So I do think there's a market for Maxx. I still think there is.
What would you trade for him now?
I'd give up a 1.
1-1.
Yeah, I'd give up 1-1. I'd come to the table, with a 1, and you'd probably have to throw something else in there.
Like a 1 and a 3.
It depends on what. I haven't seen the imaging.
We can all get together and 2 of our buddies and have a 5-man panel. I think the other thing too is, Chris, like this draft is a little meh. We're not big college football guys anymore, but I know it's a strong edge rushing class, so maybe teams are kind of waiting to see after the draft how the draft unfolds with some of these good edge players. That's kind of my opinion.
Right, that's right. And we didn't just miss out on talking about Maxx Crosby. We also missed out on talking about the Kyler Murray signing.
Minnesota Murray,
yeah. And it's not a steep investment for Minnesota. I mean, this is like a league minimum type of thing.
1.3.
Yeah. This is awesome. Okay, and I know I've been all Kyler Murray. Oh, I don't know if I would. I don't know. Okay. In Minnesota, I think I would. I think I would because they just fired the GM who took paternity leave.
Respect.
I know we're like the most hardworking country on the planet, and we don't know what time off is and shit, but probably not a good idea that time of year.
And not hiring a new GM until after the draft,
which is a super interesting thing. But
in an industry where the only excuse on the inside for a day off is you're dead, dude, nobody misses work ever. In that industry.
I had one of my friends died, a friend.
Yeah.
And I went to the head coach and like had my hat in my hand asking for a Friday off to go to the funeral. Like I was like, man, this is a ballsy ask.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I remember one time when I was a young player, one of my teammates who was not a guy playing 60 snaps a game, he was a rotational player at this point. His wife was giving birth. The head coach asked if she could move the delivery date because it was close to a game.
Move it up 10 yards.
That's the drill, dude.
Now, was it a scheduled cesarean?
I don't know. I don't know that
we can have.
I don't. Okay, I know. Yeah, but that's the kind of thing it is. But anyways, Kwesi's gone. You, which to me is like, I don't know how long KOC's leash is, and I love KOC. We are fans of Kevin O'Connell on this pod. We think that's a great organization. We went up there and spent some time in training camp a year ago, and they've had a lot of talent on the field. I think they maximized what they've had at quarterback until this past year, in my opinion, which is one of the ironies of like picking your guy, letting Sam Darnold walk, Sam Darnold hoisting the trophy. The guy that you replace him with 2 years in, you're not waving the white flag, but you're saying we're gonna create some competition. Shit just got real for JJ McCarthy, and I think it should, because I mean last year
Kyler's a gamer too. You know.
Yeah, he is a gamer. You got it. But that's the one thing is like I look at Kyler and I say, fuck, this guy's got a lot of talent. Always have. I've always seen that. But when I hear things about work habits and when I hear things about like not being a student of the game as a quarterback, it's kind of a non-negotiable. And to me, that's the one thing. Like, if this is going to work, if KOC can turn him into a student, then it really could work, because this is the best group that he would have had around him yet in his career. I mean, like I like some of the skill guys that they have in Arizona, but, not playing behind a great offensive line. Last year, in the limited time that he was on the field, their run game kind of dried up, kind of concurrent with the James Conner injury. I don't think Petzing was probably the perfect dance partner for him, and I honestly don't think Cliff Kingsbury was, ironically. I think way too much of Cliff's scheme was like, go make a play. And I think he needs more structure. I think he needs a good teacher. And I think he needs to be more surgical in the middle of the field if this is going to work. Forget hitting the digs, which is a big part of this offense, is like hitting the intermediate stuff off of play action, that sort of thing. It's also like your dump downs have to be accurate, and you can't short arm things, and your technique can't break down in the pocket. And then to me, like the deep outs and those sort of big throws that KOC, I mean, the go balls, everything, the timing has to be really good. And I think if Kyler can play with a bit more timing, be a little bit more surgical in the middle of the field, this is as much talent as KOC's had in a quarterback. If Kyler sees the field, I really do. I think he's so talented. But he's got to play on time. And I think another thing is KOC's got to change the way he calls offenses a little bit. And one of the things that people have harped on a little bit is shotgun, right? Like, Kyler's not going to be an under center guy. He hasn't been bad when he's been under center, necessarily. But like, one of the reasons they brought in Frank Smith from Miami, a name that we've talked about a little bit in this show, run game coordinator formerly, offensive coordinator in Miami under McDaniel, and got some looks as a head coach even over the last couple of years. I think he's a really good coach from what it sounds like. And I think he had a lot to do with their gun run game. And so like getting Kyler in the gun to maximize his abilities, changing what you do a little bit, and finding him those easy first reads that KOC is known for. That JJ really wasn't. I didn't think JJ was good at finding the easy answers, which is something you'd think a young player would be seeking out. He wasn't. So I think there's a lot of positive, and I'm not going to say it's necessarily going to work out, because fuck, I don't know. As an analyst, I don't know. I can't decide whether or not Kyler Murray is going to work. Yeah. Like I don't mean whether he's going to work out. I mean whether he's going to, put pen to paper, take notes, be the last guy in the building at night, become a student of the game, become an NFL quarterback, and that's like a full-time job. If he does that, he will succeed in Minnesota if he's healthy.
Well, and you don't want to be the first quarterback to not be rehabbed by Kevin O'Connell. I mean, he has Daniel Jones, he has Sam Darnold. JJ's a different case because he was a rookie.
Yeah.
And a reset, you get the new organization and a new coach. I know he caught a lot of heat for the homework clause in Arizona, requiring him to review game film.
Yeah.
But he also probably believes what he said in 2021, which was, I was blessed with the cognitive skills to just go out there and see it before it happens. I don't sit there for 24 hours and break down this team and that team and watch every game, because in my head, I see so much.
That's so bullshit, because when I watch him play, and I watched every single snap of him throwing the ball last year, and as you know, I watch a ton of games. He doesn't see the field that well late in downs. That's one of the things that he needs to improve at, is like, listen, I love the mobility that he brings to the table, but he has to be better seeing the field late in downs. Like, that is if you're just relying on your vision, it hasn't been great so far.
How much of that do you think is 5'10"?
I don't think it's all 5'10". I think it's just how certain people see the field. So he has
Look
to
at
play.
Bryce Young, man. I think it goes back to your commitment to learning a fucking scheme and executing it, which is exactly your concerns, right? Talking about Kyler going to Minnesota. To me, Kyler Murray is Kyler Murray until he proves that he's not Kyler Murray, right? And so I think one silver lining from him for, basically getting released and getting this opportunity to play in Minnesota on a really cheap deal is it's kind of like a hard look in the mirror at yourself, right? It's like, obviously what I was doing in Arizona was not working, and you kind of hope that he can take that to heart and change his shit up, I guess, mostly just his preparation. His arm talent is elite. Like you mentioned, those digs, those outs, things like that. And if he's throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson, it's like, what a fucking great scenario, as long as he's doing it on time and in rhythm within the scheme. So, I mean, we've said it all, man. It's like the Vikings have a lot of talented playmakers on offense, except for their offensive line, which was banged up. Like Darrisaw's been banged up here now 2 years in a row. So I think the only concern I have of him not executing KOC's offense is just kind of plays breaking down due to shitty O-line play, and him playing backyard football and kind of just, putting on that comfortable pair of jeans and doing that shit over and over again, which – like that's football, that happens. And then, just him not completely buying into the scheme and preparing the way that he needs to. But like, I'm optimistic, man. It's a cheap deal. At the very least, you bring in a vet presence who has experience that can help push your young guy if JJ ends up, winning and winning the starting role, which I don't necessarily think is going to happen. I think week 1 will be Kyler, but there's a lot of upside here for Minnesota. I think a lot to be excited about. Like I personally think it's a good setup for both parties.
You said hard look in the mirror, and I kind of pictured him stepping up on one of those stools.
Oh, come on now.
Like a squatty potty.
No, because my kids, when they brush their teeth, man, they got this fucking, they're basically like up on a ladder. But we say all this to say this is exciting. I'm excited for, Kyler has given me zero reason. No, he's been a good quarterback at times in his league, but he's given me, and you kind of said this, Beau, like he's given me zero reason to believe that he's going to consistently, exhibit the work habits that it takes, the consistency, the buy-in, and that's what it's going to take. So he's kind of at a crossroads. The guy's almost 30 years old, and like I said, he's played some good ball. Another thing is the run game, and I mentioned, Frank Smith coming from Miami, having to be in the gun more, but one thing KOC likes is he's going to have to take some snaps under center, and they will go play pass. And, when they go play action pass, one of the things that, I don't think KOC's had a quarterback that has threatened backside edge defenders to where they have to respect play fakes. Right. Yeah. And a lot of big runs in the NFL are backside A gap, backside B gap kind of runs where
Knicks in the playoffs, or Drake May too. Yeah.
But I'm talking, there's that, there's your nakeds and that sort of thing. But I'm talking about not just the QB read. I'm talking about when he carries out front side run play fake. Yeah. Are you going to, as that backside end, are your eyes on him a quarter second too long? And the air between you and the 3 technique, or the shade, and the lanes that creates. I mean, as an edge defender, I can speak to it. When you have to worry about a Kyler Murray rolling out, and you will not beat him to the sideline. He's a water bug. It kind of takes away from the way you play the run, and it's not a physical thing; it's a mental thing. So you, and KOC's he's an artistic cat. He's gonna figure out ways to kind of pull those levers and occupy eyes with the mobility.
I think especially like red zone. Think about like low red zone or critical moments, like a 3rd and 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to that zone read and get creative with I don't know, like just some shotgun. Some I don't know, maybe RPO zone read option stuff where you can get the ball in Kyler's hand. Because dude, like he is, I was a little critical, but he is so explosive and he can be really dynamic in the run game with the ball in his hand, scrambling, but also design runs. And then he does have a really nice arm talent, man. Like, let's not forget about that. He can fucking throw that rock. I think it'll be good. I'm not afraid of the under center run game. I think that kind of like I was saying earlier, like that could be a really good opportunity for Kyler to learn how to do something that's going to develop him as a pro quarterback.
Yeah.
And if he buys into it, and we all know how personable and how smart KOC is, we've experienced that firsthand. Like, I don't know. I think he can kind of get him going. I think it'll be a good thing.
Dude, he had Josh Dobbs ready to play fresh off the airplane. He's won with Jaron Hall. He's fucking
Carson Wentz looked even better.
Wentz looked good for some games in Minnesota. Cousins and obviously Sam Darnold, who took his opportunity and ran with it in Seattle as well. But like KOC's a good coach.
And if this doesn't work, the 27 class is dope. Not to say they'll be picking in the top 10, but all these quarterbacks now, Nix, May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, have all made runs in the playoffs. And the 27 class is Dante Moore, Julian Sayin, Arch Manning, Lenoris Sellers, Sam Levitt, John Mateer, Brendan Sorsby. A lot of good names.
Speaking of that, the Jets are tanking. And, and
they're doing it the right way, though, Chris. I like how they're doing it.
Absolutely, they're bringing in some veterans. They're bringing in like your Demario Davis is the world, Minka Fitzpatrick, Onyemata, guys like that, who are gonna bring. And it's just a sidebar here. Who are gonna bring along young players that you draft and will depend on in the future, and give them veteran presence to say, hey, this is how you win in the league, and then they're gonna cut those guys, as a thank you. But like along the way, those young guys are gonna learn, and in a year, when they tank for Arch Manning, and then Arch Manning says, I'm not going to the Jets. Like my uncle said, I'm not going to the fucking Chargers. I'm not going to the Jets. Then at least they'll be in the sweepstakes for one of those other quarterbacks. So you mentioned, but yeah, the Jets are tanking. So are the Dolphins. It's kind of an interesting thing. Speaking of the Dolphins tanking, Jaylen Waddle headed to God's team.
Let's go Cowboy Reed.
This is great, dude. This is a great move for Denver, whose window's wide open. They are Super Bowl contenders, man. Boy, that would have been a good Super Bowl. Now that the Patriots lost that Super Bowl the way they did, you can say it with your chest, but man, that would have been a good Super Bowl, Denver and Seattle.
It would have been a great Super Bowl, and it's tough to hear after this trade has happened that this trade was on the doorstep middle of last
during the season.
Yep.
When they signed Malik Willis, and I fucking was, oh, look at this offense, man. They got Achane, they got Waddle. They got, Paul on offensive line, Brewer. They got some good players here. Well, this takes a big chunk out of that. And now you look at their core and you're like, man, the ironic thing was you go from Green Bay, and I think Barnwell said this, but like there's no number one for Malik Willis in Green Bay. And now there's no number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in Miami.
Oh, I got Achane, dude. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, he's going to get traded soon, if not early in the season. I'm just telling you. Because now there's no point in having an Achane unless you – they do have 7 top 100 picks. So maybe they think – maybe the GM who was in Green Bay thinks, man, I kind of know how to pick them, and I'm going to load us up with weapons and – but I think Miami and New York are kind of in ethical tank mode. Having said that, wow, New England and fucking Buffalo, those two teams are going to be highly seeded no matter who wins that division. Mm-hmm. But for the Broncos, Sean Payton, great fit, more speed on the field like a Franklin, but this guy's like got a little bit more juice than a Franklin, and he's also he's also legitimately. It's easy to forget Michael Thomas's time in New Orleans because it was like he was like a shooting star. Like he was great for a short period of time. Injuries got him, and like my first reaction was like, "Damn, is this the most talented wide receiver that Sean Payton's had?" Because he had Colston, who was an amazing player. I don't know that anybody would have said he was traditionally talented, and honestly, I don't think Mike Thomas was traditionally talented because of the way. He fell a little bit in the draft, late second round, that sort of thing. Waddle has been the guy, forever, and high pick, high ceiling, honestly pretty tantalizing if you're Sean Payton to think, I've got this fucking receiver at my disposal. This helps Cortland Sutton a lot, takes some pressure off him. Good fit with the screen game, more speed on the field. I love this trade for Denver.
It's huge, too, because Waddle is always high in the league in his drop percentage. He does not have a high drop percentage. Last year, the Broncos, all season, and especially in the playoffs, drops were a big issue. Cortland Sutton dropped a couple balls. Troy Franklin, all the guys like going down the list.
Can you imagine if you still had Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah, whew, be pretty high.
Dribbling the ball.
But a big piece is yak, speed, and the drop percentage.
Yeah. No, it's huge. It's a great fit on all.
And Cortland Sutton's going to go off. You mentioned it. Cortland Sutton's going to go off because we've talked about him being a low end 1, high end 2. It's the end of his second big contract, and hits the twilight of his career. He's going to.
How old is he now?
I think he's 29. Probably 30 at the start of next
season. He still looks great, and
great.
But you have to prepare for the future, and right now this helps. Mm-hmm. You kind of do have like a 1A and a 1B. And I don't know who the 1A is. I think Waddle probably ends up being the 1A, and look how quickly he turned on Sutton.
No, I love Sutton, but he's going to benefit so much.
He is.
He's going to benefit.
A benefactor.
And boy, did George Patton save his job from the Twitter finger Broncos fans. And so I don't know if you guys were following it.
No,
I was following it pretty close. Everyone was pretty mad there were no deals from the Broncos early in free agency.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It was about to be like fire everybody.
Fans are funny about that, man. They just want to see something happen, and then they hate the trade, and then they, a year later they hate the trade. It fucking
literally when the news came, everyone's like, "Great, we knew it. We knew he was going to have some action."
Sure.
Yeah.
If you had to have a homogeneous wide receiver room, you can only have a 6'4" possession type guy or a 5'10" jitterbug. Everybody's the same. Right, wide receiver 1 through 4. What are you picking?
I am going to pick the big guys, and I'm going to have a room full of diverse running backs, and then I'm going to use the running backs outside.
Okay, that's a fine answer. Beau?
Is that the wrong answer?
No, that's the right answer, I guess. Beau?
You can't coach height, Macon.
Can't coach height. That's right.
Also, I need guys that are my 6'4" guys physical.
They're physical.
We're going to block.
Yeah.
We're all blocking, dude.
And offensive coordinator's favorite play is the fade in the end zone.
Sure, yeah.
Basically, this is a pick the Bengals from the past couple years of the Dolphins.
No, it's remember when Brandon Staley was like, "Oh, I watched The Last Dance. I'm cool, and I'd like to populate my wide receiver room like the Chicago Bulls, so everybody's going to be tall as fuck."
Mm-hmm.
And then he forgot that like different body types help. Like there's also point guards on NBA teams.
Yep.
And
then he had Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I was like, all right, so you watch The Last Dance. But yeah, no, I think the Broncos should be excited. I think the Broncos are going to be one of the best teams in the league next year. If they can just not be fat and happy after the big playoff run. A lot of times, like, it's so easy after a run like that to be like, yep, they'll be back there next year, and they should be on paper.
It's basically a first and third, which is expensive, but the first is number 30. I think we all agree it's worth it.
Absolutely. You find me a Waddle at 30? Yes.
100%.
No question. You're not going to be able
Jordan
to find
Tyson, Arizona State.
Well, maybe you can, because I'm not a college football guy.
I'm with you.
Think you know college basketball? Prove it by predicting which teams will cover the spread in the tournament for a chance to win bonus bets. How to get this offer in 3 easy steps. 1, enter the March Madness Matchups $500,000 Pick'em free-to-play game. 2, pick which teams you think will cover the spread in each round of the tournament. 3, if you get the most right that round, you'll win a share of bonus bets. Please make sure to read our full terms and conditions before participating in this promotion. And if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT at sign up to receive our welcome offer. BetMGM, make it legendary. You take creatine, Nate?
I do now.
Yeah. You know who doesn't take creatine?
Who's that?
Rob Ninkovich. You can tell the way I threw him around
Oh.
in San Francisco.
Hey man,
Hey, Ninko.
you impressed me. You
You
had a
take
nice
some.
quick move.
My back still feels it. Having to wrestle with that motherfucker. He always wants to wrestle, but he doesn't know I take creatine. So it doesn't just help you stay strong. I really have always had trouble keeping weight on. Like even when I played, I used to go weigh in with like 2.5 pound plates. But now I don't have to do that. I just take Create gummies, and I've increased dosage like to the 7 to 10 grams a day range. I'm not a doctor, but it's one of the most studied supplements of all time. And it's not just good for muscle retention, for performance in the gym. Your boy's 40 now, so I really need my creatine. It's also good for cognition. I really will take it sometimes in the afternoon and feel a lot better. That last night before I went out on like fumes, I popped a couple Create gummies. I felt nice and strong in the club. I felt wide awake. I felt like cognitively I could have done anything I needed to do. I thought I could have solved a fucking Rubik's Cube. Joe Tooney walks up. He's like, "Hey, can you do this?" Yeah, I took my gummies today. So anyways, it's a good habit. I feel great when I'm on it, and these are tasty gummies. Healthy brain, cognitive effects as I get older, very important. Muscle maintenance, keeping this physique. You know what I'm saying?
Physique looks great, Chris. Your physique looks phenomenal.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. I am a college basketball guy.
Yeah, Virginia have done it.
Yeah, we did it. Virginia basketball.
On to the Sweet 16.
Yep. Just knocked off the Iowa women Hawkeyes. Or women's Hawkeyes, as my son would say. My son can't say women's for some reason.
Is he from Massachusetts?
No, thankfully.
People in the Northeast tend to have an issue saying women's.
No.
Noticed.
But he attends some of these games. He's like, "Mom, are we going to the women's game tonight?" He also hates Duke and the Boozer brothers, which warms my heart because it's a generational thing, dude. Like when you grow up watching, I legitimately remember pointing at Carlos Boozer, who was only a couple years older than me, as he walked into the U-Haul, which is the old stadium, the house that Ralph Sampson built.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "You're ugly," or something like that, and hating the guy for no good reason other than he played for Duke. And actually, he stared back at me and was kind of like fucking imposing. And then fast forward, 30 years later, and my kids hate his kids.
Yeah, that's dope.
It really but
that's heartwarming.
The fucked up thing is I don't hate Carlos Boozer.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't hate his kids.
Yeah.
Those kids are good players. And I like the Allstate commercial. Kill me. I like the Allstate commercial. I think it's a great commercial.
Why do you guys have blue stuff on your face? And then it cuts to them like Gatorade-esque. It's pretty geeky.
I'll call Dad. I'll call Dad. No, I mean the inherited Duke Blue Devil hatred. And you guys, I've told the story about Carlos Boozer when he shit on the Rams, right? You remember this faintly? Bo, you haven't heard this, but
I have not
basically
heard
I
this.
caught Carlos Boozer making fun of the Rams as we were getting off the elevator. I guess his basketball team was in the same hotel as our football team. And we were all on the elevator laughing as we might on a Saturday before a Saturday night meeting. We're in Arizona playing the Cardinals, and we get off the elevator, and supposedly he was on the elevator and said, "Don't them blank words play for the Rams? They shouldn't be laughing about anything. They fucking suck." And so the beef continues. But anyways,
I think they look more like brothers, the three of them.
Boozer and his kids.
Carla, yeah.
Well, the hair is
Yeah. Hair, but still, they've got some big. You say they got some facial hair for some freshmen.
They do. They're grown ass kids.
Grown ass kids.
Yeah, they can play. So I don't know where we start with this, but you're the basketball connoisseur, Macon. Do you like what it's become, do you prefer? Because the way I think about this now is the tournament. By the way, don't say tournament. If anybody, right?
Correct.
This is so fucking stupid. My
The word
wife
is
says
tournament.
it.
Yeah.
I'm like, divorced.
Yes. Next.
Next. Tournament. You trying to sound like British or something?
Well,
You're from New Jersey. So anyways, Nolan probably says it. Do you say tournament because you're from God bless it,
a lot of
dude.
tournaments being played up here.
That's unreal, dude. It's a sickness. I can't believe y'all say that.
Caramel. That's
The
the same
tournament,
thing, man.
the tournament. Fuck me. It's like a virus. The tournament now seems to have flipped where I used to watch, and I still watch, obviously, judging by my BetMGM bet slip, which is like 1 in 20 this week, to bet the underdogs and just root for the underdogs because it's worth it. You hit on one of those, 1 out of every 3 of them, in the first round, and like that's what it was about, the 11-6 upsets or whatever, the 10-7s, fucking 12s beating a 5. Like that's why I used to come to March Madness, right? That's what made me fall in love with it. And now it just doesn't seem like that's happening as much anymore. And this year is like kind of an example of that because of NIL mostly and the transfer portal, which is you get the clustering of talent and you get the schools that can afford. I mean, like look at like Jerry Jones might not win a fucking Super Bowl, but his Razorbacks are pretty sick, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
In today's day and age, it feels like the tournament flipped from a tournament that you show up to watch for the beginning, and now it's and I used to be like, well, it kind of sucks at the end. Like I'm not as into it like the closer it gets to the championship. Now I feel like the basketball is going to be so good in the Sweet 16 because all these teams are like super expensive, and the Cinderella's Texas, quote unquote, and it costs $22 million to field that team.
Yeah.
So now it's like it feels like better basketball on the back end, and what you don't get now is the upsets.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. The best players from the mid-majors are going to the power teams. So the best teams are getting better. The NIL part of that is that the best players are staying in college because of the paycheck. They're getting 7 figures to hang out in college where they might be a second-round pick to go to the NBA.
As
they have
I
to go
would.
play in Europe. And then the transfer portal is the bigger issue, I think, where there's no penalty. You can play for 4 schools in 4 years. I think if you gave the players one of those, one freebie, and then you would have to sit out a year if you transferred a second time, that fixes a lot of it and brings parity back into the equation.
Right.
Because as it is now, yeah, you have multi-millionaire mercenaries for the most part. There's some schools in the Sweet 16 that have homegrown talent, but for the most part, it's I'm coming to your school based on how big the bag is.
Right.
You no longer have the shared experience as going to the same classes or restaurants or bars or just having that same connection to a school. You're just wearing the jersey for 6 months or so. And in that sense, it sucks. I think the quality of hoop, you're right. It's probably better, Sweet 16 and beyond. The tournament's a little bit less fun. Last year we had all 4 ones make the Final Four for the second time ever. First time was 2008. It's kind of like from a fan, I don't know if it's true for you guys, the wins don't hit as much and the losses don't hit as much. It's like SSRI hoop.
SSRI hoop, yeah.
There are no highs, there are no lows. In the moment it's sweet and it's living and dying, but then afterwards it's like, all right, well, we'll just
I don't know these kids that well.
Buy a club next year.
Yeah, and we'll spend more money next year.
Or less,
Or less if you're not
Be worse.
satisfied. But I do think there's God, it fucking like some of my favorite memories are the upsets, but I guess I am in the chow line no matter what. Like
yeah.
And
we were close. I mean, Siena was up 13 in that second half against Duke. Akron was close. Furman and McNeese put up fights. Wright State was right there.
Dude, there were so many games though that followed the exact same script where it was like, if I can remember to do it and set my jaw next year and actually do it, fucking just bet favorites in the second half when they're in close games.
Yep.
Because it was just the same script, and it was whether it was 10 minutes left in the game, 5 minutes left in the game, there's Iowa State or whoever it is, like just the pull away. Just too many just one too many runs, and I guess that's the way it is in college basketball, anyways. But it just feels more pronounced now, where it's like in the first 2 rounds, like it's almost like if the games were 30 minutes, you'd get some upsets. But these 40-minute games, they just favor the favorite, and it didn't hurt. Like Virginia lost yesterday.
I ate dinner.
I
ate dinner afterwards.
I was bracing myself for you coming in and being all like,
I'm not mopey anymore.
No, dude.
Shout out United for having refundable plane ticket situation. You pay a little more, you can get your money back.
So notoriously, Macon has watched UVA games at home, throughout the last
away
7
games.
years since
refuses to be with his
If I'm in the
friends.
gym, I can watch it with people. If I'm not there, I have to watch alone.
So UVA's first round game on Friday afternoon, Macon did watch it in public. I saw him, and he executed probably the best, because the game was pretty close in the first half. He executed the best Irish goodbye I've ever seen.
Thank you, Cal.
Where'd you watch?
I was at Cardinal Hall,
Did you really?
Karina's. Yeah.
No shit.
We got, because I was like, hey, I care about this less. I can be more normal.
Yeah.
Just go be normal.
Who would have thought NIL would have rescued you socially?
Have a beer in the middle of the day like a normal. And I was doing all these things, and then Wright State gets up 5 in the first half.
Yeah.
And I didn't say a word. I just swung my leg over the bench and walked right out the door to my car.
Oh, just in case.
I went to my office to watch it on my laptop by myself.
I wasn't even tripping during the Wright State game. I was at Whole Foods during the first half with it on the phone, like going through the aisles, man, like no problem. Like, because you can't kill us. We're already dead, dude. I mean, we've already won a national championship, so we've died and we've been to the pinnacle. It's like watching my son watch Virginia lose last night. He's like, typical Virginia fashion. I'm like, bro, you're 10. Like, I've seen more shit.
Your lifetime includes a national championship.
Yeah, like, what do you mean, bro? Like, you don't know what pain is, man. And then I got my other son picking Duke to go all the way in the bracket, and he's like, why are you rooting against Duke? I'm like, bro, this is you got a lot to learn.
I then circled back after Virginia beat Wright State to the bar to again be a normal. Calbs was still there, and Calbs didn't even notice me walk in the door. He was having such a good time, being loud, the loud guy at the bar.
Yeah,
he was a loud guy at the bar. It was dope.
Yeah, we were having a good time. I did not notice Macon come back in. He tapped me on the shoulder when he was leaving the second time, non-Irish goodbye. One thing that this tournament now doesn't allow for, going back to the NIL and players moving around conversation, Washington State in 2023-2024, they had these players, and these players would still be eligible for this team, for this tournament this year. Isaac Jones and Jaylen Waddle, both currently in the NBA.
Yeah.
Oscar Clough, the big fella for
Purdue.
Yep. Robin Chinyelu from Florida, hacking dudes on Iowa last night.
Yeah.
And our guy, Dylan Darling, the Darling for St. John's.
That was so funny because they went to the he hit this amazing game-winning shot, and they went to the panel, and Jalen Rose was like, yeah, it was just bad defense. And it really was.
It was bad defense.
It was really bad defense.
We probably do need to have a universal ball in college basketball.
Yeah, what's going on with the inflation and the deflation?
It's crazy.
Unders.
I'm kind of on board with if that ball is deflated a touch, it goes in for Vandy.
Yeah, but that's okay. But you also don't see a lot of three-quarter court shots that online. So, like, you don't see that many clang into the rim. Like, that's how hard a fucking ball hits a rim. Like, I mean, the other really close
Kentucky's
was the Butler shot.
Yep.
Yeah,
that almost
Hayward
went down.
Yeah.
But, okay, you like Ken Palm, right?
Sure.
Ken Palm guy,
He's
Ken
a
Palm
Hokie, but
efficiency.
yeah, sure.
I mean, fuck, every time I ask you about anything, you're like, well, let me give you this this list of Ken Palm teams.
More of a Bart Torvik guy now.
Okay. But this is interesting because in 2022, that was the last year that we were like NIL free. The tournament was unaffected by NIL. And in that year, there was only one team with a Ken Palm efficiency rating north of 30, whatever that means. And
Efficient AF.
Yeah, and it was UConn. Okay.
Yeah.
This year, no, it was Gonzaga. this year there's 8.
Yeah.
There's 8 teams more efficient than Gonzaga that year.
Yeah.
8 of them. So effectively, like the way it was put was our 4 seeds now are like the 2 and 3 seeds from that tournament as far as like quality of play.
Right.
And the 10 through 16 are not getting any better. They're probably getting worse.
Correct. And I think the vast majority of people are saying, cool, don't care about the efficiency. Want to see the amateur basketball played like it was. More parity, more upsets. Anything can happen.
I suppose I'm gonna hold my, because that would be my take. It's my knee jerk take. I like chaos. I like all that shit. But like some of these games have been really fucking high quality.
Yep, for sure.
Like watching Arkansas play, it's a lot of fucking fun. By the way, I got Houston. I need Houston to win this. If Houston wins the national championship, it's like a Kia.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a big Cougars fan now.
Well, path just got a little easier.
Do you feel with Florida out? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like Houston can win the whole thing?
Absolutely. Kingston Flemings, he's 6'4", he's smaller, but he can easily have a Carmelo-like run through this tournament. He'll just take it over.
Do you buy the Ament Kevin Durant thing?
A little bit.
God, he's talented.
Yeah.
You just don't want him inbounding the ball.
No, or catching an inbound.
Just get him out of there.
But yeah, the body type's very similar. He's
Holy
very good.
Shit. And
there are many who would tell you Nate Ament is the guy who got Tony Bennett to finally call it quits.
Really?
Straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah.
Would you be one of those people?
I don't know enough, but it was kind of like, hey, can you add another 0 to what you already agreed to?
Right.
And we'd be good.
Yeah, and he was like, fuck
All
this.
right. See you later. That's the other thing. College basketball is losing a lot of these awesome coaches because they don't want to play this game.
And the good coaches that stick around, like, I feel like they have a major advantage.
Right. Well, they've been doing it for decades.
Like the painter guy or whatever. The West region's got all the coaches.
Uh-huh.
But I Tennessee, we lost to Tennessee.
Right.
That team lifts weights.
Well, they had the two of all the dudes in that game. They had the 2 biggest dudes. I don't mean size-wise. I mean Jacoby Gillespie and Nate Ament are capital D dudes.
Yeah, they're dudes.
They're dudes.
Can they make a run?
Iowa State's really good.
I know they are.
Iowa State's
I noticed
really
that when I
good.
bet Kentucky.
And without their best player, against
I know.
Kentucky.
I know.
So if he's healthy, no, I don't think they can get past Iowa State.
Okay, pull the bracket up.
Where do you want to be? What region?
Well, I'll go
East. Top left.
I'm gonna go region by region and ask you, can this team win it all?
Okay.
Duke.
Yes.
Yes. St. John's.
Yes.
You think so?
Well, their best player is Zuby Ejiofor, who would take on Cam Boozer because he's like the anti-Boozer. Same position, 6'9" guy, but he's a senior. He's been there forever. Mm-hmm. And they've got 3 guys their 3 best players are seniors. So if you're going to have a team that might be slightly less talented, they are in St. John's, you at least have the advantage of experience. And it's fucking Patino.
Dude, the way he
Been to
walked
7
off
Final
the court when
Fours?
they hit the
Cold as ice.
it's like he just did a mob hit.
Yeah.
So
And they'll be in D.C. Think about St. John's at MSG for the Big East. They'll travel to D.C.
Yeah, no
That's going to be pretty electric.
I'm rooting for the Johnnies, man, obviously. And Michigan State. Michigan State, UConn, can both those teams win it all?
No.
Because Jamal Mashburn last night at halftime was Big Debbie Downer on UConn. And I think he was just being honest, but they were like, can they win it all? And he was like, no.
That UCLA team isn't very good.
Right.
UConn's looked a little shaky. While I think one of those teams could easily find themselves in the Final Four, I don't think they can get past Houston.
Bulletin
Your
board
Houston
material.
Cougars.
All right, scroll
How about
down.
that UCLA UConn coach off? I don't know if you guys saw
The Dickhead Bowl?
Yeah.
I think Cronin's a way bigger dickhead than Hurley.
The refs told both they gave warnings to both coaches, and both coaches, it was caught on video, turned to each other and they just laughed. They're like, "Yep."
I like Cronin getting a tech for basically nothing.
Yeah.
He
Set
kind
the
of
tone.
just deserved it at some point.
Yeah.
And by the way, I got Michigan State coming out of the East there.
Okay, they rebound.
Yeah, that's my Final Four team. So here we are, Iowa, Nebraska. I mean, the Big Ten's just titty fucking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, Big Ten boys.
There he
Come
is.
on.
Yeah,
I'm
on
Iowa
Wisconsin.
guy.
They're so good that Wisconsin lost.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I didn't even watch that game. I was actually after the Badgers got knocked off, I was rooting for Florida because of their jacked guy in the stands. I was like, yeah, this is my kind
Larry.
of team. And then and then they have this 6'9" dude. So I was like, fuck yeah, they got size everywhere. They got on the court, they got in the stands. Now they're out of it. So I'm kind of just rooting for Iowa, Nebraska, Big Ten. We got Michigan State.
You got all.
Dude, the white guy dunking on that poor Prairie View A&M guy felt racist at the beginning of that game. That was unbelievable. I was so aggressive. You can't do that. And did you see the Prairie View kids kind of looking up and down at him Jesus Christ, are you
the
really
Prairie View kid was
6'8"?
6'8".
No, it's
6'8",
crazy.
and looking up at it, he's like,
It's
God.
insane.
They asked the coach at half if they needed to make adjustments, the Prairie View coach, and he's like, he said something along the lines of, yeah, we need God.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy, it's
Help
gonna be
the
a
Lord.
long. But okay, so Iowa, Nebraska.
No.
Okay.
As sweet as that Nebraska team looked playing a virtual home game, those fans travel. That was impressive.
I think you're going to want to watch that game just for the fans that are going to be.
It's gonna be a great
shown
game
on TV. People are already tweeting about it. Scott Nelson said, getting ahead of this for the national media ahead of next week's Sweet 16 game. 2025 corn for Iowa, 2.77 billion bushels, all-time record. Nebraska, only 1.97 bushels of corn produced.
Damn, that's just some sort of global conflict.
Yeah.
It's like an arms race of some
Exactly.
sort. Corn race. I think, and I'm an idiot, but I feel like Illinois can win it all.
Yeah, I think you're an idiot.
Thank you.
I mean,
Dude, maybe it's the Eastern Bloc thing, dude. I'm just so impressed with
Stojakovic?
with all the Eastern Bloc kids.
no, they're really good. But playing Houston and Houston,
If they beat Houston, can they win it all? I don't want that to happen. But okay, Houston can win it all. That's what we need to know. I got Houston coming out of this bracket, dude. All
top
right.
right's the West region.
The West region, we've got Arizona, Arkansas. Yes, for sure with Arizona. That team's damn good.
Supremely talented.
Okay,
Yep.
but Arkansas?
Dude. No. But Acuff,
Acuff's a fucking
he's amazing. I think he could will them to a win over Arizona. I just don't trust.
Is he the best player in the tournament?
I don't think it's Darren Peterson anymore. That was a rough go of it for the Kansas phenom. It's either I tend to go with the smaller guys in the tournament. So yeah, I think it's Acuff or Flemings. Cam Boozer's in the conversation.
You know who my favorite player on Arkansas is?
Who?
Take a guess.
Brazil?
Billy Richmond. He looks so fucking cool. He's like a 90s guy. He's got black sneakers. He's got mid-length socks. He's got a loose T-shirt. And he's just cool. I like Billy Richmond a lot.
Did you see my man for UCLA lose his tooth?
Nah.
First round game?
Early in the game?
That was tight. I like that.
It was awesome. It was like the end of the
that was
game. I can't remember what knocked it out. Maybe somebody's elbow.
Had to be somebody's arm.
But he was fired up about it. He was smiling to everybody, front tooth, just
Really?
saw it all the way off. Yeah, went back in the game.
Like a hockey
within
player.
2 minutes.
Hockey player would have to miss time.
It was dope. It was dope. Yeah. They struggled mightily with High Point, though.
Yeah, they sure did, but
can't-
that was a fun game.
Acuff can't defend. That's the problem.
Okay.
He's electric offensively. He can't play defense.
Okay. And then Texas,
No.
it's a no. Purdue,
It's a yes.
you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This group,
So much experience.
yes. They were these guys, these seniors, led by guards Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, and then big man Trey Kaufman Wren. They started their careers as a 1 seed that lost to a 16.
Yeah.
The next year, they're in the national championship game and lose.
Uh-huh.
Last year, they were a 4 seed, I think performed about to seed. So this is their last go of it. I mean, this is how you end storybooks, with a ring, with the title.
Yeah, I guess so.
You started with a 116. It's not
You're
the
right.
first
We've
year.
been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been there.
A lot of experience.
Some interesting beards on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got Arizona coming out of that bracket there, and then we've got Michigan and Bama. I mean, obviously Michigan can win it all.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
I think Alabama's too inconsistent. I think that's Michigan.
Okay, you got Michigan, and then Tennessee, Iowa State. You already gave the answer there. You think Iowa State wins that game, but can Iowa State win it all?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I think it's Michigan out of the Midwest.
Well, okay. So I had Virginia coming out of this region here.
Okay.
So I'm still 3 of 4. Who'd you have in your Final Four?
I had the Duke Blue Devils.
Okay.
The Houston Cougars,
Purdue
Boilermakers, and Michigan Wolverines.
Interesting. All right. Well, hopefully I win some of these bets.
Michigan over Duke.
Michigan over Duke?
Yep.
I got Houston over Arizona.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. Houston over Arizona. My kids are making fun of me because I'm like last place in the bracket.
Yeah, I get that a lot too.
I'm like, all right, keep it up. See who drives you to school tomorrow.
You did today.
Yeah, I did.
I saw you cruising. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you too late to, acknowledge.
Really?
Yeah.
They fucking hate me in the drop-off line. They think it's like child abuse that my kids, that we don't have like a floorboard to, like one of those
they really
step downs.
Yeah, parachute.
Oh. No, because it's a big truck, which automatically is like minus 10 points in the carpool line. Like the teachers, they look at me like I'm a fucking hillbilly.
Yeah, you need to have a luxury SUV.
Right. And then the kids like hop out and they got to jump all the way down because I didn't put like a step. Yeah.
Is that like a custom decision?
No, I
running
think they
board?
look stupid to have I think the running boards look stupid, and plus it makes your kids more resilient.
Skin knees and such.
They just got to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
All kids could use a little bit more figuring it out. Okay. So that college basketball, I don't know. Listen, don't bet the dogs. It's changed forever.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
You're also not going to kill it. It's still sweet.
No, it's amazing. This is better than almost anything, even without the upsets. This weekend's incredible. I don't know how many times I turned to my kids and said, "This is madness." Like, it's so fun to like impart it upon your kids. Like when they get to the age where they get to, because I can remember being like 12 years old, going to school making like $2 bets, like having a little sheet.
Damn.
No, I mean we'd be like at art class, maybe $5 bets sometimes, betting NCAA tournament games. My kid, it warmed my heart the other day. My kid, on the way to school, was like, "Where's my $10?" He's got like $120 saved up.
Oh.
He's 10 years old. He's got $120. He's like, "Where's my $10? $10. I couldn't find his $10." I was like, "You might want to get like a piggy bank, bro." But he's entering a bracket. He's got a $10 bracket that is which is a little bit financially unwise to put, 1/12 of your life savings on a bracket. Like this kid's ripping you off. But it did my heart, it made me feel warm inside to know that my kids have the same hobbies. And they're not weirdos.
Gambling?
Yeah, gambling, watching.
Just got to get them into zones, and then they'll really have the same hobbies as you, Chris.
That's the problem here.
You're starting to think about having to talk with them?
About gambling?
Nope, not that one.
Which one?
The other one.
Sex?
Clapping cheeks.
What age is that?
For me, not applicable. Never happened. Never got that one.
You never got the talk?
No.
Just they avoided it?
Correct.
Oh, that's so
hilarious.
funny. I remember I did like the Uno reverse on my mom. She like started to have the talk, and I was like, I know what this is about. I was like, that's why when I see a pretty girl, my penis sticks up. She was like, "Whoa, fuck." Didn't know it was planned. So they just didn't do the talk with you.
No. Nah.
How'd you figure it out?
I couldn't
The
tell
internet.
No, we didn't have the internet like that. We had like AOL, but if it was the internet for him, he probably didn't find out until almost when we were driving.
Well, yeah, you can say that again.
He probably almost didn't find out until when we were driving.
I mean,
So no talk for you. What age did you get the talk?
I think I was in 5th grade.
holy
4th or 5th grade.
So how old are you
That's
there?
10 years old.
10 years old, yeah.
Is that too late?
No, it's too early.
Okay, so then why did you try to bait me into
I just
having
asked. I'm not trying to bait anybody, all right? I just asked if you were thinking about it, if you were lining it up.
I did have the
He's
World
already
War III
gambling.
talk with him the other day.
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying.
Irrelevant. Yeah, I'm not averse to having hard conversations, but it's kind of a team thing where I got to check in with my lovely wife. And
Maybe,
be like,
maybe
is
it
it
should
time?
be her. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Do you think it'll be a duel? Both sons sing.
I got a couple talks that I have
Yeah.
to have. That talk, the why are my allergies always acting up when I come off the porch talk, which is a talk that I'm itching to have. Just take a lot of pressure off me, Fuck, man. The other night we had a tornado watch all day. Meg was all blowing it off. No big deal. They never happened. No big deal. Came about 5 o'clock when the watch window opened up. I walk in the kitchen. She said, "Are you high right now? During a tornado watch?" I said, "It's fucking 5 o'clock. I'm high every day, dude. Are you really going to do this right now? You didn't give a fuck about the tornado watch until..."
What if you have to Helen Hunt us out of here?
I said,
at a moment's notice.
I said, "Listen, the guy who just hit a lefty cigarette is going to be the first guy to say, 'Get in the basement.'"
Uh-huh.
I was standing outside staring at the clouds. I'm like a watchdog, dude. Like, and by the way, I said, "I'm not that high." I go, "By the way, is there anything you need me to do to prepare for this possible tornado?" And she said, "No." So what the fuck are we talking about right now? I'm ready to go, dude. I'm ready. So yeah, talks. That's a good question, Macon.
Yeah. Thank you.
Speaking of good questions,
Jum, jum, jum.
the locals landline question of the week
Zone.
presented by Zone. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sales prohibited. Y'all know I'm a bit more selective with my nicotine pouches these days, so for me, the quality of the pouch is what I prioritize, which is why I'll pop in a Zone Wintergreen. 1 6 milligram is all I need every few days, whether I'm kicking back and watching ball, floating the river with the crew, or breaking down film ahead of a show. Zone easily gets me locked in. With its smooth feel and a variety of flavors, Zone is always on our game day roster. Whether you like a fresh mint flavor or you're into citrus flavor, check out their roster of options and use promo code GL20 at nickokick.com/zone for 20% off at checkout.
The flag football USA team played some former NFL and current NFL stars. Do you think, after watching highlights and seeing how those games finished, that the flag football team, the USA flag football team, should represent the United States in the Olympics over NFLers?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the NFL guys don't have time to do it. Like, listen, those guys are better. That quarterback, he took way too much shit for what he said about Patrick Mahomes. I think what he meant was, I'm a better flag football quarterback than Patrick Mahomes, which is probably true. But if you gave Patrick Mahomes like a year to practice flag football, I don't know, or 6 months or like, and also, I got to be honest with you, I don't know how hard these NFL players are going in this game.
Dude,
They
there is
certainly
no
have a
way
lot more to lose.
none of them prep for this. Like, you kidding me? Dude, I was playing pickleball with Gronk like 2 weeks ago, and he's in between games, like doing little wind sprints on the pickleball courts. He's like, "I got to get ready for the flag football thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, you're really doing
That's
it,
about
man. Like,
it.
come on over here. We got to fucking play." He fucking tears his hamstring during the game. Like, dude, none of these guys train for this. All right, it's probably just some sort of fanatics deal that they had shoehorned into their car deal, and they're like, "All right, let's go do this and make it fun and interesting." It's like a promo event, man. Like,
Dude,
They
see
look like
this?
they're in
Like,
quicksand.
this is incredible,
This
but this
dude
is not.
is
This is
getting-
way different
Remember
than
when
football.
Malk hit that guy during the Super Bowl?
Yes.
That's what's happening right there. on
Yes,
any sort
but
of
it's
field.
not. But
My-
it's a different sport. It's flag football.
It's a
They're
different
better at
sport,
flag
yeah.
football. There's no ifs,
100%.
ands, or buts about it. Is that Logan Paul?
Yep, Logan Paul is in there. Luke Kuechly.
Dog.
Up.
If
Look at-
if Logan Paul is in, listen, I don't want to smoke Logan Paul. I just don't I just don't want to consume any Logan Paul content, dude. Just please. Please, I'll fight you, anything. I just don't want to have to watch anything with Logan Paul on it, dude.
Stingy defense from Team USA. That a couple pick sixes.
Look at this ankle flexion. I mean, they got some elite characteristics.
No, these are great athletes, dude,
tiny,
and they're better at flag football than NFL players. Would that hold if NFL players decided that they wanted to be flag football players?
I think maybe so.
I don't know.
Y'all got big ass chunky bodies.
Yeah, but not all of us. Like
There was that we had a great deep shot. Jalen Hurts to Devonta Smith. That looked like you could make a little money on the.
Talk about boners, man. Look at that flexion.
Shoo.
And it was so funny. Somebody was like, "Yo, the streamer guy shows speed. Like he's running with Devonta Smith." I'm like, "Oh, cool. He's fast. Guy ran track. His name is I Show Speed. Now run a route or play man defense, or track to
Take
ball."
on a duo block 30 times a game.
Oh, come on, man. Y'all NFL players have sound like sour grapes to me.
No,
this
I'm
is basically okay. Let me just give my thesis on this. All right, like these dudes are impressive athletes. It's a very different sport than football. I think that any skill position football player, if they give, I don't know, and any NFL skill position player, if they commit a year of training, could be an elite flag football.
6 months.
6 months. Yes. If they commit themselves to it for 6 months to a year, whatever it is, they can be an elite flag football player. There is no dudes on this flag football team, if they commit 6 months to a year, that will play in an NFL roster. That is just straight up truth. I'm sorry. That's how I feel about it.
Damn, bro. Dropping
The second one's definitely true.
Dropping
I'm just
bombs.
not as sure about the first one. Unless you're talking about everybody's Darren Sproles.
I'm talking about any like
Yeah, but
starter
just handpick
for a skill
the most-
position team.
handpick. the
Or
most,
sorry,
like,
any starter at a skill position for any team in the NFL.
handpick guys that are not built for contact necessarily on a spectrum of like bulky bodies. They're more like jitterbug type guys, or kind of more like street ball players. Like take a wide receiver like that, give him time to become a flag football player. I think he's going to be that. And I think half of it is like these guys don't even know like the rules, strategy. Like it's a whole new thing for them. And so I mean flag football. Hey, you know what? You get your get back for us talking all that shit about you for making bold statements that turned out to be true, but like kind of a technicality,
Statement.
We're haters.
No, I'm not hating, bro. I'm just I'm being honest. Like, and also
I'm hating.
I'm glad the NFL players got beat, dude. Like
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm kind of glad because I don't give a
NFL
fuck.
players need to be humbled.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. We're out here doing a Fanatics thing. It's a big circle jerk. We're all so famous, dude. Like, take this L, dude. You play these fucking flag football guys who are making like $50,000 a year. I don't know what they're making.
Playing their absolute hardest.
Yeah, dude. Take this L. Hold this L.
All the NFL guys are out there like it's the fucking Pro Bowl. Oh man, it's so good.
No, but you know what? I mean, do you want my take? It doesn't matter. What like? Why were we watching that?
Memento mori. I'm with you, dog.
No, but like, what? It doesn't matter. You know what matters? Flag football could be fun. Flag football could be fun. No, well, maybe I'm talking myself into it. If they figured out a way to make it presentable and put some like twists, I think flag football might have more staying power than like second and third, tackle football leagues. You know how they've never been able to stick?
I do.
Whether it be the XFL or the USFL or UFL, whatever.
Oh, but we'll stick them in February.
Dude, put a bunch of fucking streamers and famous people who are athletic on flag football teams, and like that's gonna stick because that's the world we live in now. It's like guy who's spends all day on YouTube is like way more famous than any of the NFL players.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoy it. My kids play it. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
If you were a Bengals fan, how nervous were you watching Joe Burrow take those 2 hits?
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't want him out there.
Yee.
I don't even want him running around. He took off and ran. Like, I was like, what are you doing, dog?
Yeah. It's like,
what are you doing?
what are you doing, man?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
Tom Brady looked good, though.
Tom Brady was firing that fucking pigskin in the locker room at Gronk.
Did you see that dodge?
Did you see a bunch of dudes were like standing there watching, like just staring at him, and he was just fucking rifling the ball at Gronk. Who else? Like who else played in this game that was? And is Stephon Diggs on the team?
Yes, he's on Founder FFC with Tom Brady, Terrence Crawford, Steph, Rob Gronkowski, DeMar Hamlin, Jalen Hurts, Ashton Genty, Alvin Kamara, Von Miller, Patrick Peterson, Devonta Smith, and Antoine Winfield Jr.
What about an NFL team?
I think he was asking about the NFL.
No, I don't think so. Not right now.
You know who is on an NFL team? Romeo Dobbs. Romeo Dobbs. My dude. I'm sure we'll talk more about free agency later in the week. Maybe.
Do you want to hit the furniture?
I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to like this, but like my timeline is pretty special.
Well, I know that.
Speaking of the furniture, Macon, this is actually what I was thinking about for your house. I've never seen a guy slap a couch's ass before, but this guy is just manhandling these couches. I was stoned the other night, and I probably did 25 minutes on this page, dude. It's just this dude from, I suppose, China smacking the fuck out of these big, ugly, lightweight, poorly built couches. Look at the way they slide across the floor.
I know how this got to the algo.
How did it get to the algo?
The first two words are ebony wood.
That's funny. That's good.
Instagram page is Why Home Baby.
Why Home Baby. Why Home Baby. Get you a couch, man. Get you a couch with like a fucking dragon head on the arm.
They ship worldwide.
They ship worldwide.
Right there in their bio.
It's gonna take like 4 months to get to you. The couch is gonna be huge.
Wait, why does this all look normal?
I don't know. This is bizarre, but I really like this Why Home Baby guy.
Might have just sourced my living room. Hey. Dinette. Bedroom.
You need to call them.
Good. Little trip down to Montgomery?
Yeah, to Montgomery. Why don't we make a pilgrimage?
Okay. I'll bring Nate.
Yeah.
Do a little content.
Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Ask him if they heard about Tulane. Myself and Beau sat down with the great Michael Bennett in San Francisco, which feels like 6 months ago. But how long ago was that? Let's not
6
remind
weeks.
the listeners.
2 months?
Month and a half.
6 weeks.
Wasn't that? Yeah.
But it's
Man,
a great.
that does feel like forever.
It's a great.
Dude, that was
interview.
awesome. Yeah.
What,
Mike
San
is the
Francisco
man,
was
dude.
awesome? Or Mike? Yeah.
Well, both, I guess. But I like Mike more than San Francisco. Dude, he's such a funny motherfucker. Like, he is willing. He just says everything that's on his mind and just loves, like, just watching him interact with people that have never met him before and, like, them trying to figure him out a little bit is just a treat. You know, he's a smart dude, but he loves fucking with people, and people don't usually realize that until it's too late, and it's just gold.
He definitely loves fucking with people. I'll give you that. He is one of a kind, and you will enjoy that interview. So check that out. It'll be out later in the week. Otherwise, y'all take care.